Ruby Powers, attorney at law and soon to be representative from 134, is here at a panel at the National Organization for Women. Ruby, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, absolutely so. I mean, you're doing something that I think more folks should be doing given the state of our, not only the state of our country, but the state of our world. Anyhow, tell me a little bit about why did you come out here to work with the National Organization for Women?
Well, I've been an advocate for immigrants, women, children, young girls for as long as I've been in my career, for over 11 years. And so a lot of that advocacy work has taken me to the border and detention facilities, has had me speaking to media on a local level, but even internationally, speaking up against what's been the treatment of immigrants, family separation, those in detention. I've had some egregious cases where I've helped bring it to the light. And you know what makes me really shudder, is that the fact is that I might see one case, but I know that there's millions, or there's many others that are not getting the attention that they deserve. So I mean, I think it's a collective effort to bring the treatment of detained women and children to light, because a lot of people don't realize what's happening.
And I love that you said a lot of people don't realize what's happening. You're there in the trenches. One of the reasons that we are able to be so bad, so evil with folks, is because American people are good people, but they don't know what's happening. They don't see what's happening, and the media hasn't been covering it as much as it should. You are bringing much of that out to light. How do you intend to further put that out there so that folks would actually see that what you're doing is essential and actually shows that we as a country really are a moral country?
Well, I think there's several issues. One, if the people don't realize what's happening, when I go talk to people who aren't in my field, they're shocked by what I explain to them. So the second of all, I think there's a lot of media trying really hard to bring it to light, but what happens is often something else that's happening in the news takes precedence and pushes the issues of immigration further down, and so it doesn't get the attention it really deserves. The other thing I've realized is that using my clients' stories, those who've been strong enough to be willing to share it, maybe they have to share some details about their life they don't really want to, but they're still in a safe space, that seems to resonate mostly with people, to be able to see that true story from a person. So getting clients who can speak up to the media seems to be another way that we've been doing a lot of advocacy. I've had some recent articles come out, and they highlighted a lot of my family separation cases and talked with them a year later after they were released to see how they were doing. And you know, I'm hoping that story helps bring to light what's been happening, and that still is happening, family separation and also the mistreatment of detained women and children.
With the state of our economy, for many people, a lot of people think the economy is doing well, but we know better on the other side. A lot of folks have a tendency to believe, well, we have our own problems. How do you balance the necessity for your work on immigration with the necessity of the rest of your base that's going to require from you dedication not only to immigration issues but to economic issues?
Well, that's a complex, multi-tiered question.
Very.
But you know, some of the things that come to mind right away are the fact that immigrants, or maybe two things come to light first. One is that it's a basic human right to take care of the immigrants with decency, and we need to do that. Imagine if we were born in another country, how would we want to be treated? And then I think the other thing that's important to note is that immigrants are part of the fabric of our country, of our city, our state, our country, but we also need them for our economy and ingenuity. And so we can't turn our back on immigration.
And isn't it true also that how we treat folks here, we should expect that it's a compass for how we will be treated throughout the world where we are?
That's true. We see that easily with the reciprocity with visas between countries. As an immigration attorney, I look to that a lot. But also, if we were to be detained in another country or held, or if there was to be an issue in an emergency, I mean, these are how we treat others is how we will be treated as well. And so we need to think to that, because tables could turn.
One last question before we end here. You're here on a panel. What do you expect to get out of this panel?
I mean, I'm looking to see what others are doing and to be inspired by how they are, facing the adversity and persisting in this against all obstacles, because I think a lot of us are fighting on a lot of different grounds, and we might think that we're in silos, we're all by ourselves with our small group of people who care about the same issues, but in reality we're all trying to push forward a lot of issues that are important to humanity and to our culture and our country. And so I'm looking for inspiration, ideas, and to build a stronger network so that I can continue my work.
Well, Ruby, you said you're looking for inspiration. You are inspiring, and what you are doing is essential. So thank you for what you're doing, and thank you so kindly for being here. Ruby Powers, she is going to be that next congresswoman from 134.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.